Greetings, everyone! Welcome to Legacies of Caine, the Vampire the Masquerade role-playing game show. Wait. Oh god. Broke my English there, don't worry about it. But anyway, we're playing Vampire the Masquerade, Legacies of Caine. We're continuing the adventures of our team of vampires here as they are going into the Shadowlands, or at least that's the plan. So they have finally accomplished their mission of gathering together all the members of a group of necromantic extended family, so they can have a family reunion to discuss the fact that apparently some shit's been going down that's not good for them. So, you know...
Wait, we don't want to attend this family reunion.
Probably not. Probably not.
Just clarifying that.
Mm-hmm. But you arranged it.
Yeah, probably not the best idea. Just bring people there and then step outside, wait for everyone to die, and then we come in afterwards and get our reward.
Well, now...
I don't think everyone's supposed to die. I think they're already dead. I think they're probably just going to go on like a giant rampage, which, honestly, if we're in the Shadowlands, we're probably better off, because we're less dangerous there to them, I think.
Oh, I meant everyone else around them to die.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, a group of necromancers are going to kill pretty much everybody in a 50-mile radius.
I'm thinking that's probably true, and I don't want to be there. And if we're in the Shadowlands, 50 miles doesn't even cover the distance we have.
All right. So, I'm assuming that you will head for... give me a second here, to get the appropriate names, that you're gonna head to where Angelique was. Yes.
That's the lady.
Yes. And to her a location, there. Which is the... It's not a ziggurat, it's the, Wow. English, please work in my brain.
Pyramid?
Necropolis?
Necropolis of Angelique. Her Sakara. In Sakara. Her haven in, her necropolis in Sakara.
Yeah.
Are you bringing your flesh-eating associate with you? Just so that you have at least that taken care of.
I mean, I would imagine
Oh, yeah, the
so.
one. Yeah, since he's one of the people who needs to arrive there.
Mm-hmm.
Reyna, I think.
Yeah, Reyna.
Yeah.
Ryan will kind of come up to you. Do you want me to come along? I'm not as good at traveling between worlds, but in case of emergency, I mean, I have some abilities in another world. I don't know about going to any underworlds, but, you know.
Unless you can rip a hole from the underworld into your spirit world, I'm not entirely sure your help will be necessary.
They're one and the same. Yep, the underworld is just a portion of the spirit world.
Why don't you ask the Great Lord Cockroach?
So,
all right.
my big point is, if you can help us get out, if things go wrong, or when we're done, then you coming along would be helpful.
I've never brought anybody other than myself back and forth, you know? That's a problem that I haven't had. Like, Dawn was spiritually brought over into there when she went on her adventures. Hey, that's what I was doing there! Okay, I'm trying to do a bad New York accent. And I said I was going to do it yesterday, and it's bad. So I'm not going to have Dawn talk. That was very bad.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Just go with kind of a deadpan robotic voice.
That's
Dawn's just
what I was doing
catatonic
there.
until she revives herself.
Insert emotion here.
I will insert this emotion here. That is what I did there. My spirit went, but not my body. with the help of Great Lord Cockroach and the werewolf. Thank you.
Right, so, Ryan, could you commune with the Great Lord Cockroach to see if he thinks you would be helpful?
Sure.
Or if he might suggest that you stay not in that land?
He'll go commune, he'll return to you, and he'll be able to write. The Great Lord Cockroach has informed me that, most likely, because of my ability to step sideways, which he has taught me, I could probably escape from the Shadowlands myself. Diving directly into the Shadowlands is not something I think I could do, but leaving from it is something I think I could do. Taking anybody with me, I'm not sure of. Again, I've never tried it out, and according to him, theoretically, my powers should be able to allow to assist others, but I don't know if
Look,
it's more on my side than more on his side, kind of thing.
Sure.
He's been with us this long. Are we really just going to leave him behind now?
Well, I mean, I was thinking that if he was going to stay here, we would at least send him on a nice flight back to New York.
Ryan, do you want to come with us to possibly literal hell, or would you rather stay in the real world?
Honestly speaking, I'd probably rather stay in the real world, but that's just me personally. As for going with you, though, I feel like this is a point in time where I could be useful, just in case. We don't know what we're going to encounter there.
And if nothing else, you could get out with whatever information we find.
Just be sure to pack some extra pants, will you?
Will do.
Thank you for coming along with us, Ryan.
Sure. Alright, you'll head, for Sakara.
Actually, I need to call Candy first.
Oh, okay. Sure. Nathan Han, what's up?
Hello, Candy. I will be, sadly, incommunicado for I'm not sure exactly how long. Is there anything you need from me before I go?
Business is doing all right now, so I don't think so. We've been listening to some of your expansion ideas and things like that, and some of the investments are going well.
Oh, excellent. I'm glad to hear it.
I've been trying to come up with, I'm worried about this talk of shutdowns and stuff, and I've been coming up with a plan just in case we gotta shut the gym down. It's a lot of loss of money. And I know there's a lot of people that will be worried about, things.
Indeed. Well, I trust you to take care of everyone you can. I very much hope that when I get back, we will be able to spend quite a considerable amount of time not worrying about work travel or other necessities, and we can be at our leisure.
That sounds wonderful, Nathan, honey.
Alrighty.
Okay. So,
Then I'm going to contact my lawyer and make sure that my will has her as being the person who inherits the gym.
Gotcha.
And the business stuff. Okay. Alright, I'm ready.
Alright. Anybody else doing anything to prepare?
Not anything.
Nah, I'm good.
I should be good.
Okay. So you'll head for Sakara, and once again dive deep into the tomb of Angelique, into her necropolis. The silence and death once again surrounds you, and upon emerging into the area, rather than Angelique greeting you from a kind of atop a chair kind of above you, it will be Lazarus sitting down there, kind of like seemingly waiting for you. He'll kind of nod to your escort as they're going to move out of the way, and he's going to kind of then look towards you and say, "Seems like you've done well for me. Everything goes according to plan. And I am one not to betray my word. A gate to the Shadowlands is where you wish to go. I can give you directions to what you seek once you get there. Good luck. You'll need it." So he's going to kind of get up, kind of head down towards you, and move over towards like a kind of pool of water that's to the one side of this room, and kind of going to put his hand over top of it, and you'll see the water kind of blacken as he puts his hand through it. And once he's done, like, he'll kind of just like drip it out, and you can see these like kind of like splotches of like darkness kind of come off from his hands that kind of just float down and then merge again with it, and kind of just he'll put his hand out and just kind of go as a go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
If nobody else heads out, I'm just gonna walk up and step into the pool.
Okay.
Yeah.
As each of you takes your turn stepping into the pool, it is disconcerting. You are stepping through like inky blackness, and you feel as though like it's that you're falling, but you've got like a weight against you, like you're being drug against things. And you can also begin to hear this kind of like screaming that seems to like kind of echo distantly from every direction. Just like this, like it would be the cacophony you'd think you'd hear in hell itself. The screams of the dead. But you can just hear it echoing in the background. With a sudden kind of splorch, you will then plummet about 20 feet to the ground. And with kind of like a kick and a roll, kind of fall into black sand.
Yay.
Cool.
This place is disturbing and strange. You find yourself in what appears to be a portion of a desert, like the sandy basin, except there's something just a little wrong with everything. Everything seems like a weird shadow. There are strange black structures set into what appear to be cities. Floating chunks of earth that seem to be kind of messing the sky. The sky itself is a rolling kind of thunderstorm. Like you could just see flashes of what looks to be like lightning, except it's kind of this black energy upon this kind of grayish cloud. Everything is black, gray, dull. The ground itself has these like, you feel like you're on sand, but then eventually you see these like strange cracks in the ground in various places.
Well, I suppose at least there's no sun.
You can't quite identify where you're at. If anybody wants to, you can give me Intelligence, Occult Difficulty 9 check, just to see if you know anything about the Shadowlands. Since none of you are particularly versed in it, that's why it's so difficult.
Yeah.
So you said... I'll pull up my sheet.
Occult Intelligence, difficulty 9.
Intelligence.
Any reduction for being similar to the Abyss?
You can go roll difficulty 8. I'll give you that.
That was.
Oh.
Dang it.
Leslie gets some things mixed up.
I mean, it's pretty much just like home. I don't really see what the issue is here.
Alright.
I know exactly where we are, except for that I don't.
So,
Brian, any thoughts?
My sire taught me more about werewolves and stuff than
I only know a few
Abyss.
basics about this place. I can tell you. Shadowlands is a area of the Umbra that is very hard to reach for living beings. Without your friend's portal, I don't think I could have reached here. Not normally. My kind, we enter different areas of the spirit realm. Of the Umbra. This is deep Umbra. Not only is it hard to get to normally, but even then, again, it doesn't like the living entering into it. I'm probably the most antithesis thing here. Not to say that there might not be others that have found their way in for reasons. I hear tales that sometimes living necromancers come in here too. Anyway.
I hear there may be some kind of blue dragon here.
Never heard of that. But I know there are spirits of the dead here, and this place is a strange shadow of the real world. A reflection of it. A broken reflection. Those chunks floating in the air. The only thing I can tell you is I know what those are. Shadows of broken things. As the shadow changes, fractures can occur. That's what's left over of probably ancient structures that were once here.
Why would there be structures in the Shadowlands?
Because this place, as I said, is a reflection of the real world. Of all things non-living. A good example would be in New York. You know how they built a new place where the Twin Towers used to be? Probably floating above this city, you would find those towers. Still intact.
Well, it's a reflection of everything not living, then theoretically there should be a bevy of vampires here. None of us are living, after all.
I don't think you're not dead, too. Not in the same way as, like, the Wraiths are.
And would we find wraiths here?
Oh, yeah.
Is there any difference with my arm?
So,
It's fully manifested. It's not invisible.
Alright.
Quick question. Weren't we supposed to find the model under the sands, the blueprint of that whose shadow lies within the abyss?
Yes.
Did we ever do that?
That's what's going on. From what you were informed, within the Shadowlands here, there is the echoes of Enoch on the edge of the abyss, so to say.
we find that, we can find the real Enoch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sixth Great Maelstrom, basically...
These are the blueprints we're finding, and then we can find the real thing.
Yeah.
Got it.
I mean, does it follow logical? You said that New York there'd be the towers, so is Enoch here in Egypt? Or was it?
You don't know if you're in Egypt now, actually. You might not have been dropped off at the same exact spot within the Shadowlands. Theoretically, Lazarus dropped you close.
Yeah.
Well, we knew it was, nearby to the... in the Middle East or Egypt, somewhere around there.
Well, let's see just how much like our world it is. Leslie's gonna try jumping.
You jump normally.
Laws of
But-
physics still seem to apply. That's
It's weird
something.
though, like when you land, like the noise, even you're like landing in sand, you still make a noise that's still like deadened, but there's like a weird like echo to everything, as if everything is kind of hollow and empty too.
All right. I'd like to take a look and see if I can find any landmarks that I can see.
Okay,
Mhm.
give me perception alertness.
And I'm gonna look up in the sky to see if I see any floating cities.
Okay.
Because who knows?
Okay.
I don't have Wi-Fi here, so I'm pretty much useless.
I'm gonna test and see how much
Perception.
can-
What should I roll?
Alertness. I'm gonna say, Samuel, you're getting signals of some kind, actually.
Oh. I
Yes.
guess I'll try to ping those on my laptop. Try to see what's going on there.
3 to look around in the air. Probably in bat form would actually be most efficient as well.
Okay, you're gonna kind of scout out. So as Emil is scouting out in bat form, Samuel, you'll kind of hook into your laptop and kind of like get these weird signals. At first, you're like, it's almost as like it is you getting like maybe like fluctuating like Wi-Fi signals, I'd say. But like every time you try to like load up something, it's unusual. Like you'll find like if you go to a website, it is like an ancient version of it. Like the first, like if you go to Amazon, it's like the first Amazon website.
Got the first logo, got the...
Yeah, it's like the very first one when it was first
the
created.
one that the ancient Romans used. I see.
Also,
What about whitehouse.com? I've heard good things about that place.
a messenger will like whatever messenger service you use on your computer, one of them will pop up, and the words "Hello, are you here?"
World.
Like in like a mixture of like fonts and like capitals and lowercase letters will kind of pop up on your computer.
I will respond. Who is this?
I am friend.
Guys, we have a new friend.
Let me come closer.
Leslie, I think you know more. I assume you know more about this place than I do. Should I let this man come closer to
Absolutely, most certainly not. I will rip your throat out myself.
me? You can talk to him if you'd like.
No, you will break communication with him and monitor signals.
All right.
Look, if this is anything like my realm, you do not fuck with the beings, creatures, ideas, thoughts that are here.
denizens.
This is dangerous. This will kill us in an instant without remorse.
Hmm.
This is
That makes
as
sense.
much as I typically find your actions amusing, even if I respond with consternation, this is not the time.
I was simply deferring to you on this because this very strange message came to me.
I understand. I mean, any other actions that is your more rabble-rousing actions that you sometimes partake in?
I know when to be serious, alright? I know that I shouldn't be typing, yeah, I'm right here at this location and then giving me my exact coordinates as I'm doing right now. I wouldn't hit send, though. I
Nathan.
wouldn't hit send.
As they're discussing this, you'll see like Samuel's screen flash for a second, and there seems to be some kind of like dark shadowy face on it. They don't seem to notice that because they're arguing.
At any rate, as I said, breaking
Do you see the
signals-
face
The face?
What?
Huh?
on the screen?
Is it
Look,
still
Is
there
that
when
part
we
of your
look?
messenger?
Not there right now. It was just kind of flashed on there for a second.
I don't know what face you're talking about.
Well, there was a face on it. Can't you track people with their id address or something?
Oh, I'm gonna turn the laptop off.
As you're shutting it down, you'll see the screen begin to bend as if it looks like some kind of hand is trying to reach through it, and then it shuts off and it disappears.
The internet is haunted.
Yes.
Stock shotgun.
It's literally the ghost internet.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
moment.
just
It's-
gonna.
It's
I'm not
basically
using that.
it is a shadow
I
of
dearly
the
hope
actual
that that
internet.
man was not slender.
Samuel, I'm going to go back on my statement for one brief moment. If you're going to say that line, you need this first, and I'm going to hand him my shotgun. Now, please, the line once more.
What line was I saying? I'm sorry. I
Oh,
got
internet's
distracted by
haunted. Internet's haunted.
the internet is haunted.
What? Alright, never mind. My attempt at levity has been broken. Give me my shotgun back.
Yeah, you can have it back. Sorry, I'm just, I'm just gonna put this laptop away for now.
On the internet, no one knows you're a ghost.
Yeah. So, Emil, you will actually go scouting out, and you'll go a little bit of a distance, kind of like floating around, kind of giving because you can go fast and get a good view. There's something in the distance. It looks as though there's like this what looks to be a hole in the sky where things are falling into, and kind of like almost like a black hole. And kind of sitting on it is this set of like stone structures that have kind of fractured and floating, and maybe like half a dozen floating isles, along with a very large one that seems to have some kind of citadel on it, kind of at the center of it all.
I think I found where we're going. I will actually go back and say, I think I found where we're going.
Well, thank goodness.
And what gives you that impression?
The giant ancient floating cyclopean city in the sky.
Going back to the events that just took place, Samuel, I'm not sure. Modern technology is more your realm than mine, but I have some grasp on SIGINT operations. Do you have any way to passively scan? Like, for us, back in the old days, I suppose, passive radar versus active radar. You could detect signals without sending out your own. Are you capable of doing that with your laptop?
Am I capable of doing that with my laptop?
Maybe. The
Trying
thing
to
is, like,
send a signal. Wait, sorry, what are you doing?
Running silent, as it were.
Send signals
Oh.
without receiving them. Or, I
No,
mean,
no.
wait, no, the other way around.
Yes. Running,
Basically,
like,
scanning for Wi-Fi without forming connections.
not just Wi-Fi, any signal, yeah. Basically,
Right.
the difference between passive radar and active radar. Or with
Uh,
a submarine running silent. Passive sonar versus active sonar.
You couldn't get any information. Sorry, just someone who actually is a tech. You couldn't get any information from it, but you could detect if signals are being broadcast. You couldn't get more than
Yeah, I know.
something. Yeah, so
I know.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I could do that, yeah.
okay. So just kind of setting up your laptop to kind of not receive like. So what's exactly what are you doing with it then?
Okay, think of it like a submarine.
Mm-hmm.
If a submarine's running silent, it is not sending out sonar pings, so nothing can hear that it is there. There is no indication it exists.
Mm-hmm.
But it is listening for any other signs. It's not necessarily receiving information, it's just
Okay.
taking note of things in the area if they exist.
Okay.
think of it like when you like scan for Wi-Fi connection in the area. It will show you a list of all the areas, but you don't actually connect to any of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's about as much information as you can get from it.
Okay. Well, you're getting a lot of signals then.
Oh, okay. is there one specifically in the like when we get closer to the Cyclopean city or whatever? Does it get a little bit stronger?
Not really. The signals
No.
you're getting are mixed, and the thing is, they're like none of them have like real world names. They're all combinations of weird letters, symbols, and stuff like that that are kind of unreadable.
Mm.
Mainly watch for the strength. If a signal is getting stronger, it may indicate something is approaching us.
Oh, good call.
And
Otherwise, I suppose we head towards the city.
All right.
Well, before we do that, I'm gonna test my grasp of the control over these shadows. If there's any difference, or if it's stronger, or weaker, whatever. Just shadow play.
It seems about this. Just using simple shadow play, it seems to function differently. You'll see, like, in those strange cracks that sort of come across the world, rather than just manifesting, black ooze will kind of, like, squeeze up between the cracks and then manifest in your shadow play, like, wherever you're doing it.
Can I tell if it's still a shadow or if I'm controlling something else?
It does seem to be shadows, you know, like darkness. It's just that, like, the physical connection to the abyss seems quite actually physically connected.
I was gonna say, the comparison of controlling these shadows to the shadows when I was physically in the abyss. Is there any difference, or is it the same, basically?
It feels a little distant, but it still feels like you're close.
Okay. Potential small boon. My abilities might be stronger here. I'm not sure yet. I'd rather
When
not
you
test them
stop
on
your
ourselves.
manifestation, through the cracks that you had the abyssal energy come through, you will actually see kind of blasts of wind then start coming out of those, kind of manifesting in a small tornado in that area.
After summoning shadow from it?
Yes.
Was it doing that before?
Nope.
Alright, well, I'm going to shadow play the shadows back into the crack.
It doesn't stop it.
Okay, just going to leave that there then.
I'm gonna roll something here. Be careful, Leslie. I don't know where all the connections are, but I know it's said that in other aspects of the underworld, a great tempest is raging. I'm thinking that we're here, like kind of on the entrance to the underworld, and those cracks are places that lead down into it almost. You kind of wrenched one open, and the storm's coming through.
Alright, so my attention. Is that the only place I can draw shadows from, is from these cracks?
Anytime you try to manifest it, it seems to come from them. They're all over. Like, the world is cracked. As if, like...
Never mind. I'm going to go back on the whole my powers may be stronger, not touching them. Lovely. Once again.
Well, I mean, it might be useful to know that you can create storms. Incidentally.
I might drag us all into the underworld, which...
Well, I
Like
don't know
you
if it's
can
down
escape
there, or up there, or somewhere. Like, up and down ain't normal here.
Long shot, can I try and sense things with my arm? Is there any weird feeling if I move it around, or...
It feels more real than you ever did anywhere else, like other than the abyss. Like, while you are here, it feels like similar to like how the abyss, where it feels like an actual arm. You feel like you have an actual arm rather than just, yeah.
Right, well...
Almost like it were real, but
Yeah.
it's not.
Might, well,
just-
here it kinda is, technically. He does have a
Right.
wicked, shadowy demon arm.
I mean, I could just make the rest of myself a shadowy demon as well. Not really wanting to test that unless it's needed, though. At
Let's
any
go
rate,
towards the city and away from these little storms.
Mm-hmm.
We should definitely move away from it, but the three of us have tested our abilities. But Nathan,
Well,
perhaps you should see how your own function here.
City does seem
May
to be in the
also be
middle of a
different.
giant storm.
Honestly, I'd rather not, as I want to maintain all of the blood that I have.
Fair enough. And did we
Because-
fill up before coming in here, or
I assume you did.
okay?
Yeah, we did
Hope so.
yesterday. Yesterday.
Alright, you'll
But
head
we're one down, I believe,
Yeah.
for waking up.
You'll head for the city, and there will be strange, shadowy ruins underneath the city. Like, it looks as though there's, like... The city here seems a combination of buildings that are ruined and those that are intact. Above it, you can see floating the wreckage of the city and the hole in the sky, which, Leslie, you will recognize as... It is the Abyss.
Oh, look, my home's up there.
Well, then
It's a lot
it seems
closer
likely
than
that this is the edge of it.
It's a lot closer than I expected, to be honest.
The Abyss, the last time you kind of saw the Abyss manifest, it's just kind of massive, insanely sized hole into reality that you kind of like manifested on like a portion on the edge of, almost. That everything, it's like a black hole where everything was constantly falling into it. And every different level was a different level of horror and darkness going down into an infinite center. Above you seems like a smaller representation of it. As if it's, rather than being the abyss itself, it is a tear in the sky to the abyss.
Still closer than I'd like. The Sombra is up there somewhere.
What now?
The Sombra, my antediluvian.
Oh, right.
He's somewhere up there. And
Well, with that lovely thought,
yeah,
do
Would
any
you
of
like
us
to meet my
recognize any of these
dad?
buildings?
Well, besides the fact that they look old, no.
Some of these look like actual, like, places, others don't. This place around us is strange.
Now, the question is these ones on the ground, how do we get to the ones up there? I assume the ones up there are where we want to be.
Well, I mean, I guess that's a good reason to bring me.
are you going to fly a rope up there?
Um,
I don't know if we have any rope.
I mean, I could just lift you guys up.
do we see anything that might be a temple, a set of hanging gardens, or a great library?
It's hard to tell from this distance, and because you're kind of under it now, and everything seems fractured. As I said, there's about a dozen floating islands, and the center one seems to be some kind of citadel in the center. Perhaps.
Always the option that exploring the ruins below could take us to the ones above. I mean, who knows how physics in this place work? Could be MC Escher-like.
Suppose that's true.
Don't know. Again, I can try flying it up. On the bottom of the
Well-
big one, there seems to be some holes in it. That might be safer than going to the top, because I don't know how without getting close to that big old vortex.
Well,
Vortex.
let's fly up that Citadel's asshole then.
Okay. He'll shift into giant cockroach form and be like, Alright! Alright! Let me grab you! Who's getting a ride from Ryan?
I'll get a ride from Ryan.
Scoop.
I should
I mean, he
probably
can
have
ferry
a
us.
Yeah,
last
if
go
there's
first.
room, I'm in.
Okay. Scoop.
I'll probably just fly myself without
Okay.
that form.
Okay.
Well, how does everyone feel being an enema?
You have an odd way of seeing the world, Nathan. Good luck.
No, I didn't mean enigma.
Oh, no, I heard what you said. I guess he'll fly them up and I'll wait for the next train.
Okay. No, he can grab you too. He's pretty strong.
He
And
can carry all three of us?
yeah.
3? You mean 4? Because Dawn's here?
Well,
Yes. He's got 4
Right.
arms.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
But how many forearms does he have?
Mm-hmm. That's what you get.
So we go up.
Mm-hmm. And enter into, like, you can see that there seems to be, like, a torn hole under the bottom of this large structure. When you're getting this close, not that you feel like, you can feel there is almost like a pool coming up towards the thing above. Granted, it's not enough to, like, actually drag you. You're still being held down by the gravity of the Shadowlands. But you definitely can feel that there's now a reverse pool that seems to be counteracting things at this point in time. Even, like, at the bottom here. There's a gaping kind of corridor into darkness that seems to go deeper into this structure. It goes for about, like, as you kind of land up there, and Ryan puts you down, he'll transform back to normal for now. But you can see that it goes for maybe about 20 feet and ends up in some kind of chamber. Oddly
Pull out
enough,
cell phone,
without...
turn on battery, or turn on flashlight.
It's
Remember
not...
to turn off Wi-Fi
It's not
and
dark here.
Bluetooth.
It's not dark
Oh,
here.
everything on mine is off.
Like, everything is kind of in this, like, shadowed light. Like, everything almost kind of glows a little bit. It's shadow, not darkness.
Okay.
In fact, I'm gonna go
Right.
so far as to take the battery out of my things.
You'll kind of move forward, and the chamber you'll kind of reach is this kind of massive vaulted chamber where you can see these cages hanging from the ceilings, like on these metal chains, each one seemingly the size where a single person could be, with what looks to be skeletal remains inside of them. Deep below you are these, like, grates underneath you in these circular pits where you can just see, like, when you would look down there, shadowy figures that seem to be writhing and screaming, layered on top of each other, filling up this thing. As they kind of undulate, and you can tell that this pit goes deeper than, like, kind of where they are by who knows how long. They just are kind of, like, reaching up as if trying to escape and not quite getting anywhere close to where you are, but they are screaming. And your presence just seems to anger them greatly.
Not much we can do about that. We have a job to do.
I don't think I brought enough bullets.
I don't know if bullets will even be of any help yet, to be honest.
Fair enough. Are there any doors or exits to this place other than the grated pits?
Yes. There seems to be a number of other tunnels going off, and on the one side, a stone spiral staircase that seems to be leading up.
I'm gonna spend a point of blood to preemptively manifest feral claws on. Well, actually, no. My one arm already does aggravated damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna activate the heightened senses
Okay.
going forward.
Anyone notice anything from any of these tunnels or coming from above us?
I hear more screams down here of the damned.
Down here being this tunnel, over
Oh,
here,
yeah.
I point. What about the other tunnels?
Anybody else want to check one?
Sure.
I mean, I'll check, but I don't have heightened senses or anything.
Umber, you hear the screams of the damned coming from that tunnel.
How many tunnels are there?
One in each cardinal direction, I would say.
Okay. And we came from...
Probably... Well, again, you don't have a cardinal direction. We'll say you came from south.
Yeah,
just to give
we'll
you
make up one so we
Yeah.
can communicate to each other.
What
Well,
does
Ryan,
this place smell like?
It's an odd kind of smell, because, like, there isn't a lot of smell here in general. But there is something kind of wafting through the air, as if it's, like, a lingering shadow of smells, of, like, sweat, feces, you know, not necessarily what I would call death. Like, for the look of this place, you would expect it to smell like dead, but it doesn't. It just smells like kind of sweat and feces to a degree, like, as if, like... You're not quite sure what this room was used for. Let me put it that way.
Do we know...
Like something works and poops here.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know exactly what we are looking for here, or are we just reduced to checking tunnels and hoping we stumble upon what we need?
We are seeking the model under the sands, the blueprint of that whose shadow lies within the abyss, so that we can travel to the dread palace of Gamal.
So the exact thing we don't know. We have a phrase.
Either we are
describing
looking...
something.
You're really looking for the model under the sands. The model under the
Yeah, but-
sands will show you where
Do
you
we
need to go.
do we know if it's like actually a model, or is that just, as far as we know, a phrase
Effectively, we're-
describing a thing?
The thing,
Effectively, I assume we're looking for a map of sorts.
yeah. The thing about this
Whether
place
that map
is
is a model of an area.
this
or
place is still a
a
shadow
painting.
of Enoch, even if it's like wrecked. There was a great library here. There were places where like records were kept. There are beings that are still said to live here. Something is thought to know something that would give you what you need. Unfortunately, you're not sure exactly where to go, but you're assuming any place that information would be kept. This doesn't look like a very good information kept kind of place.
Eidetic memory from looking at it and checking the two tunnels. Any idea of which direction to go?
Maybe up. This feels like the underground of the city, like what was below the city. This doesn't feel like what was at the surface, where probably most of the records would have been kept.
Yeah. Do any of the tunnels go up?
Yes, there's a spiral staircase that leads up, I said. From information that you got previously, Nathan, like a list of different kinds of places that were here, you're fairly certain these are the slave pits.
I'm fairly certain that these are the slave pits.
Mhm.
I don't think we'll be able to find much of interest here. Perhaps we should go up.
That seems like a wonderful idea.
All right. Going up, you will find yourself in another chamber. This one has a number of like broken statues kind of lining it. The spiral staircase will keep going up though, as if it kind of goes up, leading to like a massive door where there is like words etched on the door. You will see like kind of cracks in the door as if it's been damaged, but not quite opened. It looks as though there is a piece of the door missing. Maybe enough for someone to squeeze through if they wanted to. The language is not anything any of you recognize. Actually, no. It does seem familiar, as into some of your ancient stuff had language similar to it on it. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
You know,
Like the chalices?
Yes.
after flying up here, I never said I changed it out of bat form. I'm going to stick a small head through.
Um, this looks akin to like a catacomb of some kind. You see what look to be statues and sarcophagi kind of in various chambers off to the side, kind of leading down a large row to a chamber about 100 feet down where there seems to be 4 sarcophagi even, and then a tunnel going beyond them.
I'll squeak at Samuel then, because why waste blood when we don't have access to a lot to change back and forth? It seems to be a catacombs of sorts. There does seem to be a passage further beyond.
Okay.
Are there any other tunnels from the floor we're on?
The staircase does go up higher.
Oh, okay. So it's basically a landing with a door, and then the stairs go up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
These stairs go up.
You're assuming that the building you saw must have been the Dread Palace Gamal. The center of the city is what kind of remains. The slave pits were probably the lowest levels. And probably some of these tunnels led to other areas of the city where the slaves would go out. Those that would come from the palace had a staircase directly down into the center of the slave pits, is where you kind of entered into.
Well, Leslie, where do you think these stairs go?
Probably up.
It's not quite the reference I was hoping for, but close enough. Let's go.
Okay, you're heading up. Alright. You're going to emerge into, like, a kind of half-broken chamber where you can see part of the roof is missing, and you can just see that screaming kind of vortex above you. That kind of black hole, which now you can see that just falls seemingly forever into darkness. It is disturbing to look at. This chamber here has, again, all these kind of shattered statues of various figures throughout it. And kind of leads, you can see that there's like a number of passages leading off of this kind of chamber here. It's kind of hard to tell what this was used for. There's a set of double doors in kind of like way in front of you, and off to the either side there are oak doors. The door to the right is gone though. It seems just open.
Do any of these statues look like Jabal?
No.
Okay. I'm keeping my eye out for that as we go.
Okay.
Does anyone want to check through that door?
Suppose so.
Which one? The one beyond the one that I poked my head through? Oh no, that was.
No, we went up from there. There's an open door and a closed door. Well, a door that is no longer a door and a closed door.
Guess we might as well check them both out. We need to figure out where we are.
Well, what can we see through the opening where the door used to be?
It seems to be some kind of side hallway. Half of the building is just torn away here, so it's kind of like a hallway that half of it is leading to the outside now. As you can also see, like there's kind of like a little fracture between it, between areas, so you don't almost have to kind of like jump over something. As everything is kind of just fractured apart, and it seems to lead into like another chamber beyond.
All right.
I guess we check it out.
I believe Dawn is the most athletic of us. Perhaps she could jump over and check the door on the other side. Meanwhile, one or more of us can check the closed door back there.
As I said, there was two closed doors. There was one that was opposite this open one, kind of to the left, and this was the right.
Oh.
And then there was a double door in the middle, in between them, kind of on the back, on the wall back wall. Yeah.
Wait, did you say there's a gap that has to be jumped?
A small gap. Yeah.
I'm still a bat. I can just fly across.
Okay.
Can you open the door when you get across?
I can change back.
I figure if it's not a difficult jump.
Dawn. Oh, am I freezing up? Yes, I've frozen up. Brick.
Then Dawn. You're welcome.
That goes.
I suppose meanwhile we can check one of those doors.
That works.
Yeah.
Do we have her?
I say
Done.
double doors are usually the most important, so we save that for last.
I agree.
Okay.
Do we have Dawn do things when a
Sure.
player isn't here? Or...
She can jump across.
Well, never mind.
I'll be accompanying her. So.
Okay. All right. Rest of you will check the door on the other side, and it is a mirrored hallway, except this one is intact, and it leads to another door at the end of it.
Are there any passages or doors off of the hallway other than the one and the other?
Nope.
I don't think splitting up's the right choice at any rate.
Certainly not to any great degree.
I'd almost rather say not at all. Not in this place. You don't know what could happen. We've already seen that things can be off.
Agreed. That said, we're still on the landing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I guess
What
we
do they
just
find on the
shoot.
other side?
When Dawn opens the door, it will seemingly be like kind of like a decent-sized chamber, maybe like 30 feet across, with this kind of like domed ceiling, and all these like 4 statues that seem to be kind of like at opposites of each other, like as an almost X across it, and a kind of strange like kind of pool area. It looks like where a pool of water once stood, that's kind of cracked and damaged. And Dawn will inquire with you if you should go inside or go by the others before checking this out. She kind of will take a look around, and she's like, "I can't see anything right now. I cannot see anything right now, Emil. We might have to go inside to search it if we were to look around."
Are there any other doors or other exits?
She doesn't
In the
notice
room?
any. I do not notice any other exits. None that are visible.
So it's just a room with a pool of water.
But it seems like an empty pool.
Ah, so where a pool of water would be.
Yes.
Well, probably. Well, actually, funny enough.
Are
I
you a
actually can't
bat
say
or a
anything.
person?
I'm a bat because I can't say anything back to her. I gesture to go back to the others.
All right, I will go get them before deciding anything. She returns to you, boop, 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 and informs you everything. I do not know if there is anything else over there.
Fair enough. What do you 3 think? Ryan, Samuel, and Leslie, and Emil can sort of nod along with things he agrees with and shake his head with things he doesn't.
This place is kind of unnerving.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a safe thing to say.
I have no idea, to be honest.
I don't trust the mirror hallway. I don't like that.
I think the mirror hallway was a description that it mirrors the hallway on the other side.
Not that it was filled with mirrors. No, it was mirrored to the one.
Okay, yeah, no. I mean, we could check that out. I don't really... I don't think we have enough information to really be choosy with this.
Well,
If anyone's going down the mirror hallway, it should probably be me first.
but it's not mirrored.
Wait,
Well, it's mirrored, it's
are
just
there
not mirrored.
Are they mirrors or not?
They aren't actual mirrors. It is a mirror in form to the other hallway across from it.
It's the
Okay,
same
so it's just a
hallway.
Except
hallway then.
it is a hallway, a normal hallway, except it's intact instead of destroyed, like the one that heads to where the pool room is.
Well, let's check down that hallway.
Yeah.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one.
Mirrored hallway. There's mirrors.
Yeah, I thought it was just like the walls were made of mirrors. I was like, oh my god, that sounds scary.
Like, I don't cast a reflection. I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna head down that hallway and check the door at the end.
Okay. You'll head down to that hallway, which again is a fairly simple one. Opening up the door, the room is gone. There's no room there. Just empty, voided space that seems to kind of like tumble. There's a number of like you can see like dirt and dust actually floating away from where this room may have once stood, heading up into the vortex above.
Let's close that door.
Back to the double doors then.
Yep.
Told you the mirror room sucked.
I agree. This entire place sucks. I guess we check out the double doors.
Okay.
Yes.
So opening the double doors will reveal a massive chamber. This place here, you will see that it kind of goes off in the 4 cardinal directions, including the one you're coming from, which we'll say again is south. Kind of in the corners of like in between the 2 directions are these like areas where there is like seats that are kind of positioned. On the in the center of this entire area is like a kind of raised dais, which at the very top of is a kind of strangely shadowed white throne.
I recommend not sitting on that.
Probably not the blueprints room, I suppose.
So did we come from behind the throne then?
I'd say if we're using the throne as it's facing south, we'll say, you would have come from east. So it's like you're looking to the side of the throne.
Okay.
Yeah.
Except didn't you say we came from the south?
I did just to use you as always the south where you're coming from. But now I'm going to change it because I'll use the throne rather than you as the descriptor.
But
Okay.
Okay, it's facing west. How's that sound?
Okay.
And
So-
we're from the east still.
No, you're south. I don't care. Whatever. I'll keep it the same.
All right.
we
I'll
came
keep-
in at the side of the room.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. You're assuming it's facing towards where the entrance to the building would have been.
I still say we just go back and up the stairs.
You are up
Yes,
the stairs.
That sounds great.
Alright. Up the stairs we go.
You did go up the stairs.
Yeah, we go up to the next... Didn't you say the stairs keep going up for me? This landing?
No. You went up
So-
from where the where the
Okay.
where- there was the
slave
catacomb
pits.
slave pits, catacombs, where there was all the sarcophagi and stuff. This level,
Right.
That was it.
Right.
Might I recommend a drawing?
Sure. I'll come
How
up with a
about we
basic.
take a break here while Tantus makes a drawing? So
Yeah,
we
let me
have
make a
any idea
basic
what's
drawing
going
for you. I'll be right back in a bit. So snack, drink, bathroom break. See you in a minute, folks. All right, we've returned. Great.
With maps.
With maps, which
We can see what we're doing.
they can. I never showed maps on this because they didn't really need maps. Shoot.
I mean, I don't think the players need to know, or the viewers, as much as just we need to know what we're
These
doing.
are not good maps. They're very down and dirty maps that I put together that are pretty simple to give you an idea of where everything is. So, All right. So what is your plan
You put
now?
more detail on there than I was expecting. I was just expecting squares with doors.
I mean, I put a little bit more, just to like embellish. I didn't have anything good for slave pits, so that's why they're kind of nondescript down there.
So we have the slave pits that we didn't explore. We just left. So we've got the sarcophagus catacomb floor and this floor.
Which we looked into. There's a hallway beyond over here, but we didn't bother with that, I don't think, either, because we're figuring things are up higher. And we got the gap room, the unexplored room, and the throne room.
The throne room has all the cardinal directions off from it.
Wow, I heard that wrong. I heard all the carving erections.
Hey.
So,
We're ancient Greece.
that makes sense. There would probably be lots of carving erections. So, which door now? John?
A library probably would be close to a throne room. Across the gap, there was another room. We couldn't see any doors from where we were, but we didn't want to enter it without... I assume I'm conveying this to Samuel. But we didn't go further, just because splitting up is not the best idea.
Yes, we did not.
Well, we could go to the right and see if it connects through.
We could see if what connects where, definitely.
So the doorway to the north.
Okay, so you're heading
Why
to this doorway up here.
Yeah.
All right. Beyond that doorway is a kind of long hallway that fairly nondescript with kind of windows on the side that kind of goes for a little while. It's probably not going to be the correct.
It's not to scale, but that's fine.
Nothing's going to be to the scale on this map. That is not what I wanted to copy. That leads to staircase that leads up.
Okay.
Well,
How about west then?
yes.
Oh, this
Let's
side
just
over
check
here?
both of the doors. Why not?
So this area leads over here to a chamber that is also quite in ruins. Give me a second here just to kind of put together a map first, and then that is not what I wanted to paste. I wanted to do another one of these. Boop. Boop. Oh, yes. Not that one. Damn it. Yeah. Let me throw this. That's what we needed. There we go. And there we go. All right. So this chamber here has, again, kind of lined with columns and statues. There's a set of double doors that are slightly ajar at the end here. Off to either side are doors directly next to you, and then a little farther open, where the second set of doors are actually kind of openings in the side of the building that look to have been like actual like archways that would have led like to an outside area. You're not sure if it would have been a balcony or whatever, but to over here is like over on this side is completely missing. Over here seems to be an area that maybe a garden once was. Like a simple garden on the outside of the building once was.
Does it look as if anything was hanging?
No. It's kind of like
Dang
a
it.
dirt area there. Not like a grand garden. That would have been like a hanging garden of
So, nothing to the north, nothing to the south, really.
from this door here and this door here. But they exist. You can like this one again. Like things have been destroyed here. This one here leads to kind of like a dirt landing kind of area where you can tell this probably would have been an area where a garden would have been. There is like the remains of where plants would have been, but there are no plants here. Just dirt.
What about the other two doors?
So this one, if you would go that way, leads to a like completely collapsed area. So you can see that this area here is collapsed away too.
Okay.
This one leads to a hall. And a door.
You know, this really does feel like us just stumbling around hoping we find what we need.
Yes! It is a little
Basically
bit.
is.
I'm going to say there's been a bunch of things that you could have done that could have maybe helped you. You've already avoided.
Well, we've also been told that there's a bunch of things we could have done that would kill us, so...
Yes, that's true.
Alright, well, how about this door then?
Alright, that leads to what looks to be part of like a stone pathway that would have led to another one of the buildings, except everything is broken away now. You can see out in the distance, another building is kind of sitting there in the distance, on another island, maybe a few 100 feet away. Perhaps at one time these were connected together. Or at least close enough together.
Well, I'm certainly not making that jump.
I believe if we wanted to check that, it'd be Ryan carrying us once again.
Yes. Let's finish exploring this palace first.
Mm-hmm. Doorway down here.
Alright. Oh, that's select. That's not draw a shape. Jerk. Alright. So entering into this chamber here, it seems to be a kind of like an unmarked chamber that just seems, at first glance, seems completely empty when you just kind of look at it. But kind of looking around, you can see that there are there is more to this place. There are seats that are kind of subtly built into the wall. Like what looks to be some kind of container for holding something nearby. You can see rings kind of around where the seats are, where maybe chains could be attached. Like some metal rings into the wall.
Torture chamber?
Seems that way.
You said there was a container of some sort?
Like a kind of like stone box kind of thing that was just open topped with nothing in it, where it looks like things could be put into.
Huh.
And just as empty. And again, it looks like seats along the walls and places for chains to attach.
Odd that they'd have the torture chambers right next to the throne room.
These don't look like torture chambers. There are no tools for torture here.
Holding cells, something like that.
This seems like a holding cell. There you go. That is definitely
Perhaps appetizers for those in the throne room.
Right, yes, that kind of... I forgot what kind of place we were in for a second.
I mean, one of the main things would be that prisoners and criminals would be the main meal a lot of times. Oh my god. I love this. Several of the cooks of the first city time learned that various savory herbs and foods and drinks that would be ingested by feeding slaves caused the right balance of sweet, salt, fullness, and thinness in their blood. Yup, that's just a thing that that was learned. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go up to the dais and see if I can notice anything helpful about the throne.
It is the how is this? Give me a second. It is the Ivory Throne of Cain, or at least a shadow of it. The place where Cain would have probably presided over everything here. You can see kind of places to sit nearby to it, probably for, you're guessing, the second generation. For
And Jabal.
Jabal probably would have not been here.
Oh.
It probably would have been like Irad would have sat next to him, because Irad was the original king of this place before it was converted to a vampire city, and like he was the original king of what would be the settlement here. And it became one of the second generations, and was also known for his conquest of many people. So, like, you can tell that, like, there's an area for those to sit and watch, and there's great vaulted areas where perhaps even, like, large details of military could approach from, and set themselves in all four directions and give, like, thanks to both their immortal king and their living god.
Okay. Is there anything of note that I can see from the throne?
Not really. There's like a large kind of like central chamber that's seemingly the entire building.
Okay. Well, I suppose we could go back and examine the pool chamber, or we could go up.
I suppose we check what the new floor is then.
Alrighty.
Okay. Alright, so you'll just head up then. Alright.
Get drawing, Art Monkey.
I'm not drawing this one, I'm going to tell you. The second level is effectively the havens for over 200 vampires. These are the rooms, the lavish chambers that probably once held the many vampires that lived here. Some of them are wrecked and ruined, others are still intact. But these seem to be, like, very much so the level of personal quarters.
Are there more stairs up?
There are.
Let's go up.
The third floor, which, again, gets definitely smaller and stuff. These are the great feeding chambers. Places where there were massive tables set, with places to chain down folks, or these areas of chains hanging down above kind of like almost pool areas where probably like folks could be hung for the blood to drip out to a pool down below to drink from.
You know, for all the older vampires talk of being more sophisticated, they're really just a bunch of monsters.
They were really monsters back then.
I mean, eating from a trough? Ugh.
Our elders and our antediluvians were so sophisticated. No, they weren't.
Uh,
A bunch of rabbiting beasts. Oh, we had a great city of Enoch. Yeah, and you drank from a trough. A bunch of pigs.
I mean, not necessarily would be a trough.
I'm sorry, a fancy trough.
I mean, there are drawings depicting Cain and several of his children drinking from a pool of blood that is fed by 3 inverted mortals bleeding into it. There's art of this that exists.
Yay.
That's still a trough.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a fancy trough.
It's a fancy
round
trough.
Yeah.
It was pretty much a fancy trough to just bleed people into, and then just drink from it. Mm-hmm.
Right. Are there more stairs?
Above is the final floor of the place here, of the palace here. Oh no, there's the next floor up. Is an area that is empty. This floor has a number of chambers, but there is nothing within any of them. They are completely empty. There seems to have been a final floor at some point in time, but it has been destroyed. So its use unknown to time.
Like a floor above, or you mean this?
There was a
floor has
fifth
nothing?
floor,
Okay.
but it is
Is gone.
it's gone.
Can we try and determine any idea what this? Well, no, you said there was nothing here, so.
Probably the only thing that exists here is in the back room is like a simple stone kind of throne built towards the back of one of the walls in one of the chambers.
Alright, well. I think we're kind of out of places to check other than going back to that broken hallway out down below.
Well, the broken hallway, I believe, is on the way to down below, so let's start with that, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay. You can easily jump across. It's not really a difficulty. I was never going to have people roll for that one. Who's going in first?
You know what?
I'll lead, I guess?
Okay.
I was gonna say the bat can go in first since they're technically harder to hit.
Mm-hmm. Leslie disappears.
Alright, there you go.
Hey, damn it.
Well,
Leslie,
this is no good.
There.
you're going to step through into a bright chamber, as if, like, coming through the cracks is sunlight. The chamber is made of, like, a fine, like, kind of look like it's like a sandstone that's all around.
I
and there is a-
instinctively try and hide from the sun?
You kind of, like... No, well, you don't have that instinct, actually. Like, you don't feel afraid at all.
Like,
Like,
even
you
from
feel-
my years of living as a vampire, I don't feel
Something
like, oh,
unusual-
shit, sun,
some-
hide.
Like, you probably, like, kind of, like, revile back at like, for a second before you realize that, like, that welling that comes deep inside from, like, fire and sun that you feel, that, like, fear, isn't coming out. It's like a natural fear that normally kind of wells into your being just from seeing it. It's just an unnatural thing that happens. You know, something beyond your control. It's not triggering.
I'll look behind me to the door I walked through.
It's closed. The
I'll
pool
open
of
it.
water is now, like, filled, and there is a woman next to the pool, kind of putting her hand through it.
I'm gonna, like, turn sideways so I can keep the door and her in my view, and I'm just gonna open the door and see what's through it.
Door is sealed.
Oh.
So is the door still open on our end?
Yes.
Can I poke my arm in? Does my arm disappear?
No.
Okay.
Okay, through the door, all we saw was the pool.
Yeah, like the broken pool of water.
Yeah, and Dawn and Emil went in here already.
No.
We didn't step foot in the room. We opened the door and we're like,
We'll go get
let's
the
check
others.
with the others.
Yeah.
Don't see anything.
We'll check up the others. We don't really
Oh.
see anything.
Hello there.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, hello.
Odd question, but where are we right now?
Don't you know?
Some memory issues.
You are in the
As
great
well.
palace of Gunlaw.
I mean this room specifically.
Well, this is my chamber.
And you are?
Oh.
I'm sorry, we have, as far as I'm aware, we have not met before. My name is Leslie.
Perhaps I should not say much, and beyond your name, you should say no more. Strange This is more than what I normally see. As she kind of like puts her hand to the water, it is perfectly crystal clear.
I'll walk up near her in the pool.
It's strange. My sight allows me to see many things through here. It allows those that come to it to use my strength and the connections to it to see. Never once has something manifested quite so vividly, and not within the waters.
You believe me to be a manifestation?
Perhaps.
And then what does that make you?
The same thing for you, maybe.
And why do you believe we must be guarded in our woods?
Because I believe I am from what has come before you, and you are to what will come after me.
I'd be inclined to agree. That is surprising. Not with insight, I suppose, for the time that separates us. What can you tell me? What would be safe in your eyes?
From your dress and garb, I'm not sure how different we are, but perhaps thousands of years apart. I know not what words were lost to history, or things that I should not be revealed from such a distant vision.
What is she dressed in?
Just simple, like, kind of flowing, clothing. Very kind of like see-through, just like very simple cloth that kind of just covers over her. She's incredibly beautiful. Perhaps maybe one of the most beautiful women you've ever seen.
She still appeared in a building in literal hell, so just gonna, separation of business and pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't had a problem with that before.
Yeah, well, I wasn't talking to beautiful women in hell before.
That you know of.
That I know of. You're not wrong about the time gap. Double it and I think you are there. Perhaps triple. I'm not sure. What is your role here?
Why, my husband rules this place. Perhaps that gives away too much. But my love, like us, is eternal.
You as well. You are of the kin.
I don't understand, but I sense something in you. Is your forefather Irad?
Can I make a check?
Sure.
Alright!
The
The hell is Erad?
occult intelligence. I'll give you maybe for ancient, like your sire was anti-tribute, so he probably would have been more older, know some of the ancient legends, maybe given you some of them. So I'll give you a difficulty 8 on that one to know what she's talking about.
Alright, come on, good roll, please. Good roll, good roll. I'll take it!
Irad was supposedly the second generation vampire that basically was the sire of La Sombra, along with a number of other vampires.
Wait, what?
It's your second gen. So
Yeah, but you said the sire of La Sombra along with several others.
yeah, La Sombra was
Well,
not.
Sombra isn't the only clan.
Yeah, Erad was supposedly the
Oh, you
sire
mean Erad was the sire of other clans,
of
not that
Ventru,
Lasombra had
Bruja,
multiple-
Cappadocius, Lasombra, Ravnos, and Semice. All had the
Okay,
same
see,
sire.
The way it was worded, it sounded like Lasombra had multiple sires, and I got very...
No. It's that, yeah, Lasombra... You're basically on the same family tree of second generations as Ventru, Bruja, Cappadocius, Ravnos.
That explains why
Semice.
Lasombra and Ventru don't usually get along. Sibling rivalries, and, you know.
You also got along with Semice, though. Just reasons. You're on the same... It's just, different siblings, different rivalries.
Yeah. So that's why you let me stay on this couch.
You think you know who she is, too. You believe she could be Zilla, the wife of Cain.
Yeah, as soon as she said that bit, I was... Yeah. If you're referring to what I think you are, then yes, I believe if you go back far enough, then Erad would be of I would be of his lineage.
I have predicted many things and seen many things. A sight beyond any others is my gift. To see and to know. Sometimes it is a gift, other times it is a curse. For you do not know what you see as possible, what you see as definite. You must have found some kind of connection to this place, from whenever you are from. I do not know how it's connected beyond that. But you are here for a reason. You are not here for me.
You are not wrong. You are not the reason we came here, but I believe your power may be the only reason we are here. If you are seeing me in your time, it must have something to do with you. What is your concern about information being revealed? Is there something that could happen if the wrong words were spoken?
You forget I am
Or is it
seer.
just...
I see many futures. You may tell me which future is correct. And then I may alter the timeline by accident.
Given what I know of, that may be for the best.
Does Dawn sense any fucking around with time?
Yes! Yes, she does.
Ha!
It wasn't until he stepped in there, she's all of a sudden sensed, like, mega spike on temporal fuckery right in front of her. Now there's some kind of strange temporal aura emanating from this place and from where the pool stood. Especially from where the pool stood.
I think it's safe to say that Dawn would probably just go immediately in there then.
Yeah. She doesn't travel at this point in time. Like, Leslie's done it. But she can try to, like, understand what's going on. I'll just have her working on that. You know, maybe she can even reach out to Leslie. Possibility exists. Because Leslie doesn't know if he's physically in the past or not.
Leslie's current assumption is that she's somehow manifesting him, but not physically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his assumption, knowing who she is, and knowing how, power is... Vampire power is almost logarithmic. His assumption is that this is her power doing this in her time.
She effectively would have, like, what's akin to, like, an Auspex 11, if you think about it. So she could see visions of the various futures. That was her power. But the thing is, prophecy is one thing. You don't know which of the prophecies are going to come true. You can predict multiple possibilities. She ends up dying at some point in time. She knows that one of her possible futures is her own death. She doesn't just know how to prevent it. That's kind of a terrible thing to know about.
As I said, given what I know, maybe it's for the best if you find out how things go down.
No,
Maybe you can prevent them.
I think it is better for things to play out as they will always do. Disrupting history is not something I ever wished for. If the worst comes to worse, and some of the things I have seen do come to pass, it is not my place to change them. My gift is merely to conquest, to remove the worst possibilities, not all of them. And if yours is not the worst possibility, but necessarily just a bad possibility, you still exist where you are. Our blood still remains. Whether or not it is in the greatness that we have now, or it is something down in the dirt, you still exist. That, in my book, is a win.
Is it? To lose the elegance, the beauty, I believe we have very different ways of thinking.
Beauty can be found anywhere. I have to remember my time before this city, so many thousands of years ago, when things were very different. If it was not for my love, I would have not seen this greatness grow. But I saw what was before, and I recognized that what was before in those long times ago was also great in its own way. My time in the small village which I was born, it was fun. There was beauty around me. We may have been in buildings of wood and thatch. We still were great in our own way.
But that is exactly my point. It was beautiful to you, but if you took that village and broke it, shattered it, had all of you and your family, your friends, and you returned to living in the mud,
we would rebuild. Just as I know that even if you feel like you are at a low point, you will rebuild. But perhaps you are not here now to discuss this with me, but to view. Many come to me to see visions of futures, things to come to pass. Perhaps that is your point, to look into the pool and to see.
what?
You do have the vision when you can see beyond and use the pool.
What generations exist in your time?
I don't understand what you mean.
Cain, he is the father of us all, yes?
Yes.
And he has had a child.
Yes.
Have his children had children?
We have.
Are you... Had you the chance to save the one you love, would you not take it?
The one I love most shall never find an end.
But his creations, the glorious things that he has done, would you see them fall?
If we could be by our side, eat even the dirt and mud, we would be together forever. He has shown me thousands of years of love, so much more that I would have ever assumed could exist. Ours is a bond that transcends all time. Even if the two of us were alone in this world, we would find each other. And I know even if something terrible should come to my existence, I should fail to pass, he would still exist himself. His curse is more stronger than anything you could imagine. He is bound to this existence. Please, look. Allow me to give you a gift, since you are here. Allow me to at least know that our future still exists, in some form.
Yeah, look into the pool.
All right. You could use Auspex to use the pool of Zilla and see into the future.
I have 2 points.
You just have to activate Auspex, and you will use it.
All right, I'll activate Auspex.
All right. You look into the clear crystal pool, and you are given 2 visions of possible futures. In one vision, you see you, at first, journeying somewhere with the others, going deep under the ground, and finding what actually appears to be a model of Enoch somewhere. Like a model of a city. You will then see that you will find a massive chamber with a man there. You cannot quite make out the man, but there's someone there. And there is a massive object there. A large chalice. Far bigger than anything you've ever seen. Then you will see sight of another man you've never met before. Coming before you. And now's when things deviate. In the first one, he walks by you. This man. In the second one, he stops, takes a look at you, waves his hand, and you and everyone else crumbles to ash. You then see the world burning. The actual world burning. Everything destroyed. Every last city. Everything is gone. And the visions will end.
Did you see that too?
I do not see what others see when they look into the pool. Your visions are yours alone. There's a knock at the door. Please, come in. A man will enter who looks slightly familiar. Madam, you're being called for. Ah, yes. Young Leslie here was about to leave. You see the kind of man with kind of a chiseled chin and kind of like a strange look to him kind of look you over. Be like, And then there's something very familiar about him. As if you've met him before.
No. 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 Nah. No. Mm-mm. Don't recognize him. Never met him a day in my life.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. As the woman will get up, accompany him, and as the door closes, you will find yourself back in the chamber. This time, though, with Dawn's arms on your back as if she's helping pull you back.
Did I recognize his face?
Yes.
It's who I think it is, isn't it?
It is totally who you think it is.
Motherfucker.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Lasombra.
No.
Smiche.
Smiche.
Oh, motherfucker!
You met before. You didn't know you met before.
I thought it was when the Sombra looked at me.
Nope.
Oh, it's worse. Oh, it's
I'd
so much
argue better,
worse.
Because that means that Samiche knew you before he took you into his couch.
Yeah, that's not good.
Either that or you reminded him of someone that he once knew. That he once met. You remind me of someone I've once met. You know what? I'll help you out. Back from the old days.
Oh.
You must be related.
I hate this place. I hate this place so very much.
Where did you go? Dawn said there was time fuckery, but was unable to explain better.
Certainly time fuckery, yes. That is...
And?
Well, I met the wife of Kane. She's very, incredibly, heartbreakingly beautiful.
At this, Dawn probably goes, "Oh."
Also, not really met, but saw a friend whose couch I have slept on for a few months, and who really likes flesh. This place used to be beautiful.
You also figured out something very strange. You don't know if it was actually sunny out or not. You know, like that's the thing is, it might have just appeared that way. You're not sure.
I never actually got a chance to take a look.
But you have a sense of what you need to do.
Do I? Because to me that vision revealed nothing.
It's something that's like left over.
Mm-hmm.
You know you must wake one of the four.
Son of a bitch. So, beautiful women and cities aside, you're not going to like what I have to say. Not remotely. We need to awaken one of the... Assuming I have my stuff right, which I may not. I thought all the second gens died.
They did technically.
They did in the same way that any of the third gens did, which is they sort of died.
I thought the third gens diablerized the second gen.
Zilla was assassinated.
Ah, okay.
That's one of the reasons that Cain left the first city, and afterwards the third generation rose up against the second generation at some point in time. That kind of thing, you know. So there was a lot of badness when Cain left. But basically he left when Zilla was passed. He kind of like, you know, he wanted some time, like a couple millennia to himself, thought he'd leave things. Things did not end up good without him.
You know how we've met my friend Samiche?
We have? I believe one of us has, and that's the person who slept on his couch.
Well, look, we were all there when we saw his gross flesh heart thing. We technically saw him, and then I got to know him a little bit. It's not the point.
Fair enough.
We're going to get to meet someone even more exciting. One of the four. We have to wake them up.
For what?
The four.
Weren't they all diablerized?
No.
I thought...
No, I'm asking Leslie.
Yeah.
I was under that impression as well, but call it a instinct, I guess. It's I'm not exactly sure how I know, but I do know that this is what we are going to do. We are going to awaken one of them, meaning not all of them were diablerized. Someone lives.
You can sense where you have to go, and it's deep in the catacombs. Well, not so deep anyway, because the catacombs are it's within the catacombs.
I also think I know where.
Place where there's 4 conveniently placed sarcophaguses in a chamber.
Yeah, weird.
Anyway, why don't we take our second
Oh gosh,
break
the
here?
vision. Oh gosh. The vision was, if we do the wrong one, we ruin everything. If we do the right one.
Well, no,
Okay.
it was the same man.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not.
I misunderstood.
It's not play a shell game
you're
and
right,
hope
you're-
you get it right.
Well, I know,
Yeah,
but I
there's-
thought
so
there might
there's-
have been information we'd have to find about which one we wanted to. Anyway, but okay.
The vision
it was
said
the same
that-
one.
You don't know, but after you find what you're looking for, you effectively will have some kind of choice of what you do with this information, and it will result in one of 2 things. Either this figure will ignore you, or will just destroy you outright. With just a wave of an arm.
Ignore you. I thought he was walking beside us.
No, walked by you. Like,
Oh, walked by.
past you, yeah.
It also sounded like if he chooses to destroy us, he will also destroy more.
Yes. Or at least, it will be set things in motion to that point in time.
Well,
Hey, Nathan.
yeah.
Technically, this makes me older than you are. I'm now thousands of years old. I lived in the past. I met Simiche. Isn't that exciting? This is a wonderful place. Aren't we happy to be here?
I have so many problems with that statement.
Don't worry, so do I.
Time
First of
travel!
all, you met Simiche before you were millions of years old, or thousands or whatever. Second of all, you met Simiche before that even. Third
Yes.
of all, you were already older than me.
I'm not.
No, he's not.
You're
Hey.
older. Well, you were older. Now I am.
Let me rephrase.
Wink.
I've lived more years than you have.
Indeed.
Well, I think he's saying you're physically older than him when you were
Yes.
embraced.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
Anyway, let's take our second break here. If you need a drink, bathroom break, snack, go ahead and do it. And we'll be back in a little bit to enjoy
Brain
these
bleach.
revelations. These revelations. Revelations? I don't know. I'm saying words. Bye!
Also, Gangrel's curse isn't so much like bad intelligence; it's more the bestial nature of them.
Yeah, you start getting more
And, like,
animal.
they-
Hi.
I didn't say anything about lack of intelligence.
Welcome.
You're just going from.
Yes, but theoretically, Enoch is your second generation. Again, like theoretically, there's lots of rumors and like unfortunately, who goes to who is only suspected. There's not exact like information, easily. I mean, you now know that the one in there's some of them that are a lot more obvious, like Lasombra, Simiche, and Ventru to Irad. Irad was the one that embraced the most. So he's very
Well-
easy to say, like, he embraced a whole bunch.
What was Erad like?
Irad
So-
was the military commander, so...
As
Cain
Tantus
Strong
Dracovin, storyteller,
Yeah. Yes. So, yes, you have... Sorry, distracted a little bit by that little
Oh
bit
no,
of information.
you need your camera
No.
on, otherwise
I'm-
Carpe.
I'm
is
pointing
already-
out the fact that I
Oh,
get
wait.
to tell the story.
Why is
because-
my camera off? Oh my god. I didn't even notice my
Also
camera
nice-
was off.
Nice to meet you, Dunce. Your voice is a little different now.
Uh-huh. There we go, fixed it. I don't know
Also,
why
Carpe, that is a nice hat you are now wearing.
my...
Yeah.
When everything broke for a second.
Dang.
Uh-huh. Yay! While we're on break, things broke. That happened. So yes. So
Man.
what's your plan?
I guess we're gonna go down to the catacombs.
Yeah, but if no one says anything else, then I'm just gonna lead them to where I'm being pulled to.
Okay. Hey.
And yeah,
Congratulations, Leslie. For whatever reason, you can read the doors.
I can read the what?
The writing that's on the doors downstairs at the exits.
I didn't realize there was writing there.
yeah, it was writing that we vaguely recognized from some of the
Right.
ancient artifacts,
Yeah.
but we couldn't read because, we're not from prehistoric times.
Do I notice this immediately, or when we get down to the catacombs?
It's like when you reach the door, you notice it because there was the writing on the door.
Was it only one door that had writing, or?
There was like a plaque of writing across, and as I said, like there was like some damage to the one door, and like a hole in it that someone could squeeze through. The bat easily could travel through it.
Where are we on the map?
On the map, you are here, pinged. I'll shift ping too, to send everybody
Okay.
there. Yeah.
What do you mean door could we squeeze? Because I only see the
That one right there.
Okay, so the door with the plaque and the door that could be squeezed through are the same door.
Yes,
Okay.
and it says Tombs of the Children.
So, more news? I can read that now.
Oh, neat! I'm gonna pull out the coin. What does this say?
I'll look at the coin. What coin is this?
What
This
was
is the coin of the dreamers, I think.
Yeah, the Coin of the Dreamers. I remember the phrasing I had on this one. Give me a second here. It was. I'll just give you basically a summary of what it says. It's because it's not a huge amount of writing. Is to those who seek a gift from those who lord.
To those who seek a gift from those who lord.
From those who...
Lord.
Seek a gift. I'll put that into chat here.
Yeah, to those who
Those who
seek a
seek-
gift from those who lord.
There you go.
Huh.
Where did you get this from?
We got it from...
It was, I think, very early on, was it not?
I believe it was... no, I'm coming up with a nickname.
Oh.
Ambles the Turf.
Mm-hmm.
Is this pre me or after me?
In between you, I believe.
Okay.
Giggity?
Were you given any,
Yeah, I was wondering what to make of Jacob about that.
were you given any instructions about it, or what it's like? What is this coin?
I was told it would help us draw out the dreamers, which I believe was going to help us find one of the 4 that we were looking for. Which, by the way, is not the 4 that we're looking for right now, even though we are interested in the 4 that we aren't looking for right now. The 4 souls, 4 people, 4 locks, 4 gates, 1 who sparks the universe, rainbow in the night, etc. Those sorts of things.
I was going to say this is incredibly useful at the moment, but I suppose not.
Yes, I don't believe so.
You gave the chalices to somebody else, right? We don't have those?
No, we have those.
Oh.
I didn't bring them with us. Did I?
I was going to see if there was any writing on them.
Actually, yeah, I probably would have, because I wouldn't leave them in our hotel room.
It's the exact same writing it was translated. Beckett knows how to translate ancient Enochian language. That's at least I will paraphrase that there might be slight grammatical errors or little things there, but it pretty much says the same thing. It's a difference between translating a lot of after the fact and having a weird time exposure where You probably shouldn't have been able to talk to a lady, but you could.
So I'm reading this language, right?
Yes.
I'm
And
gonna
Dawn
try
will also
speaking.
inform you, you're kind of, to paraphrase Doctor Who, you're kind of timey-wimey.
I'm gonna try speaking it.
Yeah, you're gonna speak a language that no one else understands.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna look around for reactions, see if there's anything. Or can I tell I'm speaking a different language?
Not really.
Okay.
So what do you want to do?
Anything? No, nothing. Okay. I guess we go through the
Confusion.
door.
Yeah, just okay.
We just go through the door, I guess.
Okay. Beyond the door, as I said, are these, like, kind of side chambers that lead off to their own individual tombs. There are names above each of these. Many of them are, in fact, incredibly familiar. You recognize certain names.
I will
Hakim,
read them.
Trolley, Set, Ononia, Lasombra, Malkov, Asmalard, Zapathursa, Arakel, Semiche, Ventru, Cappadocius, Salet. It
I
goes
will
on.
Point to them as I read them out.
There are other ones that you never have seen before. Asher, Jacratian, Lacosidia, Lucien, Maquette, Namtaru,
Hamtaru.
Namtaru.
And I will take note of those ones with my eidetic memory.
There are more names here than there would be of the third generation that you know about.
I'm gonna read them all and commit them to memory.
Okay. Beyond there, though, you will eventually reach the chamber, where there are 4 sarcophagus, each with a name above it. One, al-mahri, another Laz, Nurgle, Ninmug. I'll put these in chat. Oh, come on. Mahri,
One moment.
Laz.
Skulls for the Skull Throne!
And Ninmug. There's also like a kind of like small kind of statuette in the center here, where there's a plaque underneath it. It says beneath it, kind of like, when the Aralu are required, the fires will light, and the defense of the shadow of the first shall be complete.
Are there braziers?
It is like a brazier that's right there.
Ah.
You assume it means if you want to light the brazier, you wake up all of them.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna say, I'm pretty sure if we light that brazier, then these 4 are going to wake up. But their names do not match the names I know. There's al-mahri, Loz, Nurgle, and Ninmug. None of those are Zilla or Idrad. I don't...
True.
I'm going to say all of you have this unsettling feeling to you when you're in this chamber. Like, you could tell it from when as soon as you kind of walked through the door that there was something unsettling about this place. Now it is definite. And you sense there are other unpleasantness in this entire area, as if maybe these aren't the only ones sleeping here.
Is there another room beyond this room?
There's a farther chamber. There's another hallway.
Mm-hmm. Check it out.
These will have another set of familiar names to them. This hallway farther on will have Enoch Irad, Zilla, Ada, Tubal, Mahujal.
Does this feel like where it was leading me, or was it the other chamber?
No, the other chamber. These all feel empty.
I'll be honest, I don't know what would... We were supposed to be looking for a model, but we need to wake one of the people in the room. This isn't the right one. But I don't know any of those names.
Well,
Wait, so the issue is that the names aren't. Question is, are these different people, or are these simply different names for the same people?
well, in the further room were sarcophaguses with the correct names, right?
Yeah.
What you
Oh.
think is the
Oh,
what
okay.
you're assuming is the correct names.
There's one that's not on the map. It's down here. It has Idrad, Zilla, the rest of them.
Along with a few
Yeah.
other names, yes.
But we need to wake one of the other four. Al-mahri, Loz, Nurgle, or Ninmug. But we can't do it by lighting the brazier, because that would supposedly awake all four of them. Or maybe only one could be awakened. I don't know. We're playing with fire.
I thought you said don't light the brazier.
Stare.
Let's see.
Do any of you feel any familiarity with those names?
Nurgle is a demon, if I recall correctly. Just a moment, let me look into my...
Nurgle is also the name of a demon. You are not sure if they are one and the same, or if they are different. But that is a correct statement.
Depiction of a demonic force given birth by Nurgle himself. Nurgle founded the Bali clan with Moloch and the Unnamed.
It could
Is
be
that
one and the
something
same.
Is that something Nathan knows, or...?
Yeah, that was one of the items on auction.
Okay.
And that's what we learned about it, was that it was apparently a depiction of a demonic force given birth by Nurgle himself.
So Nurgle gave birth to a demon.
Sure. We also met Nurg at the auction. He had a fiendish cane or a gargoylish figure, and maybe was the king of Babylon or something?
Can I go inspect the four sarcophagi and see if timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff is drawing me to any of them in particular?
Sure. Roll me your basic Auspex check. Okay.
I'm assuming you mean just the amount of pips I have in Auspex.
I meant whatever you roll normally for your Auspex when you're using it.
It has different... Well,
For
like
your
Auspex is
aura
just
reading.
the...
Aura reading. Sorry.
Okay.
Brain fart there. Aura reading. Yes.
With the same difficulty?
Basic aura reading difficulty, we'll say.
Okay.
Roll that. Okay. You kind of try to read from them, and you get maybe from like the uneasy feeling, that like overpowering, horrible feeling that's around here. You get the least of it from Laws, you think? So Laws might be the least murdery for you?
Trying to see if there's any writing on his sarcophagus.
There is a passageway beyond the sarcophagi, right?
Yes, and let's line those.
Yeah, we already.
And at the very end of that hallway was a sealed chamber marked with the name Cain.
Cain. Wait, marked with the name Cain?
Yes, at the very end of that hallway, like at the very end of it, was a sealed chamber that would be like, this is effectively the tomb of the original antediluvians, second generation, like a catacomb for them. Cain apparently made one for himself.
Okay, that doesn't actually mean he's there.
No. And especially because you have to remember there's also, like, a shadow of the place, too, so it's hard to say what actually should be here and shouldn't be here. But you do sense presences here, unfortunately. Like, they are very powerful presences, so it's like, you don't even need auspex to sense it. You just get this horrible feeling of, like, overwhelming supernatural energy. And especially from these four here, in which, you know, Leslie's kind of, like, judging each of them and is like, yeah, Laws seems the least threatening from, like, just reading the aura and energy. You can just try opening it up.
Did I get any sort of sense of power from Zilla?
Strangely enough, you didn't. You didn't get any kind of sense of any kind of power there. It was just quiet there. Maybe it's because of what happened to you, because you were effectively a weird semi-time traveler.
But
I'm gonna
just
see if there's any writing on Laws's tomb.
But just try prying off Enoch's sarcophagi lid.
No,
It's-
we will not.
Oh, also, I remembered, or I found my notes. The old coins, I lent money to Ryan to get them, and he said that we might need them at some point.
Yep.
So yeah, checking Laws's sarcophagus for any.
You'll find a
text or
small inscription towards the bottom. It says, "She who is the third, she who will guard Enoch in its greatest of times. She who finds that all will be protected. She is the guardian. She is the shield."
She is Laws. Can I read the writing on the other tombs?
Yes. Al-mahri will be a little symbol. They're very similar, each of the writings, and it will imply that al-mahri is the sword, Nurgle is the mind, and Ninmung is the shadows.
Also, I'm just going to say I'm human again because ease of communication.
The sword, the shield, the mind, the shadows.
So you went into this place... Oh, sorry, continue.
And the figure I saw in my vision was a man.
Yes.
Or was it just a
Well,
humanoid
the figure with the chalice was a humanoid figure. Hard to tell.
Oh, the other one I didn't actually see. They were just a humanoid being.
Yeah, you couldn't see them in the vision. They were blurred out for whatever reason, or you just didn't have a good sight of them from your, like, the angle your vision was giving you. The person that you saw either passing by you or obliterating you, you saw them. That was a man. But you're guessing that since that was later on in the vision, it's probably not related to this.
Okay, so there was a third. Was there a third figure, or is
There's two figures. It's just
those
after
two
you got
figures.
out, you had a sense that what you needed was to wake up one of the
Okay.
four. Like
Okay, so the feeling and the vision are separate.
Yes.
Okay.
That might have been a result of, like, you know, your time traveliness, you know, and leftover energies from seeing the future or something like that.
I'd also like to note this is the second time we are awakening a vampire that is far older and stronger than us.
I suppose third if you count Victor.
Yes.
3 times we have awakened vampires far older and stronger than us.
Yes, Phytame, Victor, and
Whoever we
Like-
choose here.
The easiest way would be to open up the sarcophagus and give him a little blood. That'd probably be the easiest way to wake someone up.
In your dream or vision, was there a order to things?
What do you mean?
Like, is waking him up the first thing that happened?
I did not awaken anybody in the visions. They are separate. The feeling and the vision are not the same. They're two separate events. Connected, perhaps.
Sorry,
but
I just
separate.
out of character, I remember him saying something like he saw us finding the
model. Yes.
Yeah, but we just went over this. That they're separate. The vision and the feeling are two separate things.
Yes. Yes.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, the simplest solution does seem like just prying off the sarcophagi and seeing and waking him up.
Excuse you, the simplest solution is asking Dawn, but we can't do that as she seems incredibly indecisive right now.
Indeed.
I just don't know. All this timey-wiminess is making me confused and
This is
possibly horny.
This is rather disappointing, Don. We tend to rely on you to make choices because you always somehow make the correct choice in every single situation.
Then open the one with the lady, for she will probably be hot.
Okay, we're not counting Don's input on this one. Look, Don, I met the hottest woman that has ever possibly existed, and I am still managing to control my horny impulses.
Damn, you bastard.
And you will never see her.
Grumble, grumble, time travel powers, grumble.
So we have a sword, a shield, a mind, and a shadow. Laws was the shield and is the only one of these 4 sarcophaguses that I do not feel complete and utter overwhelming existential dread from. Any input from other people about these 4?
Brian, how are you feeling?
My bowels have been empty for quite a while now, but I'd probably shit myself if I had anything in it.
Any affinity towards any of these 4, or?
Oh no, this place just feels awful to me. Unfortunately, I think it's just like you guys have a better feeling of it. I just feel bad. It just feels bad. Like death is going to come to me instantaneously for breathing. Also, I think I'm being haunted.
Well, so far we have Dawn, who is completely out of her mind, Amelia, who wants us to just pry one of them open, Nathan, Samuel.
Damn it.
Is Ryan okay?
A rock flew at him from somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Told you I'm being haunted.
Seekers of the One travel far from the first, from old Ubar. Go to those that were not deluged.
So that would have been
Perhaps-
the Cappadocians, right?
I guess.
The
Or were the
Cappadocians
ones
survive?
that were not deluged referring to one of the ones that we should open the sarcophagi of? Or where do we know which one we're supposed to open?
No.
The question is just how we should open them.
No, I think the question is whose should we open?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
How to open it is fairly obvious. It's who the hell are we opening here?
Got it. Yeah.
Go for the less
So-
murdery one. I always like that one. Ow! Damn it! Stop
Laws
that!
Does
You can't
seem
possess
the
me.
least murdery. She is a shield. She is a defender.
Yes. And I suppose what we're looking for ultimately is a way to defend against the utter obliteration of Gehenna,
Right?
if I
Next
recall
question,
correctly.
then. Whose blood are we feeding her? Any takers?
Perhaps
Is
the one
there,
who's
like,
most
uh,
like her?
We don't know who she is.
Oh.
Well,
So we have no idea who this lady is.
Would it be better for not vampire blood in this case?
No, yes, I don't.
I
might
think
be
it needs
worse.
the vitae, but wait, no, normal people have vitae, right? That's how we get it.
And drinking breeds do have more potent blood, if I
Yeah.
recall correctly.
I don't like the idea of feeding her a changing breed's blood off the bat.
I don't imagine it's significantly more powerful than any of ours.
Well,
Although,
ours, I would
that's
assume it's diluted by now. We've consumed the blood.
That
Is it
said,
fresh?
that's fair. That said, I don't think it should be... I think it might be worth having it be one of the lowest generation.
So me.
What's your reasoning? I have no problem with it, just...
Because the higher the generation, the more potent a single bit of blood is.
Well, then I'm out. What
So
are your
me or
guys'
Don?
What?
Wait, the two. Actually, what is Samuel's generation?
Samuel, what are you?
I have 3.
So I think the same as the rest of the basic ones. So
Yeah.
Okay. So
Samuel,
could also-
Don, and Emil could all give some blood if they wanted to.
Myself and
Yeah.
Nick
So we-
are out then.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can do it. I don't know necessarily what the downsides might be to me. I don't think that there's, like...
You use up some blood points.
Yeah, I mean,
that's pretty much it.
The in-character one
Well-
is that Leslie's concerned about what feeding something. We don't know even if this thing is a vampire or a demon. We don't know what this is, who this is.
Yeah,
At
no,
least
I
with
just
Phytome,
mean the downside to me directly.
well, that's
Yeah,
what I
I'll
mean.
be-
Like,
The
at least with
downside
Phytome.
is being in front of a second generation when they wake up.
That's
no.
fair.
If this is a again, we don't know who this is. We don't know if this is a second generation even. We don't know what or who Laws is.
Wait,
One of the Aralu. That's what it says.
because these.
Yeah.
Okay, so
The second generations that we know are down the hall.
Yeah.
We're not in that room. We're not waking Erdar. We're not waking Zilla. We're not waking...
oh, okay, we needed to wake up one of these, not one of those.
Right.
Yes.
Got it.
All right, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it. I feel like I could do it too.
Okay.
I
Well,
mean,
if
either
you-
way, I'm whatever.
So you kind of will open up the coffin where there'll be like what looks to be like a desiccated corpses in there.
Okay.
Does
I'll
anything happen
stick-
when we open up that coffin?
Not in particular, other than like there's a desiccated corpse in there. That seems
I'll
sealed
cut-
up in like
I'll-
like with the hands across the chest, in a very like like sarcophagi kind of.
Before you do anything, let's open the others and see
That's a
what's
good
in
idea.
there.
That's
Okay.
a good idea. Maybe we can get a better idea based on looks.
They all are desiccated corpses.
Hopefully they
Is
don't
there-
get upset with us opening these.
Is there anything in their sarcophagi, or is it just them?
Just them.
Okay.
So like no
And
clothes,
even with desiccated bodies, you can usually tell gender at least.
3 are male, 1 is female.
Got it. So basically what we already kind of knew.
Yes.
Just making sure they weren't mixed around for whatever reason.
Actually, you can't quite
Yeah,
tell.
we would not be able to tell.
Ninmung, you
Unless
can't
any
tell
of us
on.
has extensive study of bone structure.
Yeah, of medical. And I gotta be honest, Ninmung is unusual, too.
I have medicine too.
Yeah. You can't tell from Ninmung. Ninmung just has a really unusual bone structure. Like, it doesn't
fair.
seem normal. So, maybe some kind of genetic abnormality that makes it very hard to tell from a desiccated corpse. But Nurgle and al-mahri are definitely male, and Loss is definitely female. But you do have medical, too. I'll give you that. You can, like, recognize the basic bone structures. Kind of, like, tell that out.
All right, let's try and put these 3 back as best we can, and
Just close up the tops, because these are all like these aren't like lying down sarcophagus. They're the kind that are kind of like on an angle and like kind of up, so you kind of have to slide the things to the side, and they're kind of like half like lying back, like up, like so kind of like lying up a little bit too. Yeah,
That's even more disturbing.
yeah.
It's more comfortable when we can look down at their dead bodies than
No, you're kind of looking
when
up
they're
at them.
sort of standing. Yeah.
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, especially when we're feeding, because like they're already in a standing position, so they wake up just ready. They're primed.
Yeah, we can't just hold our arm over them and drop blood down. We have to put our whatever up to their mouth. Lovely.
I
This is good.
mean, you could also put it in a convenient chalice that you happen to have with you and pour it in.
Oh. Yeah, we could challenge.
Multiple uses for an ancient artifact.
You know what? Because it's an ancient artifact. No, they said it was a fake, a really good, really old, but still
True.
not the original.
Not the original. Copy of the original.
They might buy it. They might think it's like we're celebrating them by letting them drink from the royal chalice.
Good times, come on! Dun, 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 dun,
Maybe.
dun, dun.
Giving
I
them
just
the-
don't want to offend them. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah,
I think
I don't think 2 dots of etiquette is going to help me figure out what would offend a second generation or not.
True. Yeah.
I
Well-
think
Hold up. Do I have any idea, based on the little time I spent there, just like how Zilla talked to Smiche, or Smiche to Zilla?
Reverence. Effectively, Zilla was of higher rank. You could definitely tell that.
There.
His
Oh,
overall standing in the city, you really couldn't tell. But it was like a brief thing of like, you person who is like higher in standing than you were being called for.
a thought occurs to
and-
me. I don't think that whoever wakes up is going to speak English very well.
Oh.
But they will speak a strange language that Umber and Leslie all of a sudden knows.
So I'm thinking that perhaps Umber might be the best one to be the first that they see, and perhaps I can stand around the side and feed with a chalice.
of Samuel Blood.
And
Of-
I am Umber's groveling servant.
You know,
You gotta make them feel at home.
That might not be for the best because they might just ask for his servant's essence.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind then.
Yeah.
I think
Also,
we should.
If
appear
I'm
as normal.
gonna be the one that it sees, I should probably just have the chalice and feed it. So it doesn't ask a question of why is there a random hand with the chalice and why.
Okay.
Try to make this as normal as possible, really.
Fair enough.
All right.
I don't know.
In an
So
extremely
I feel like
abnormal-
normal for vampires to drink from the source, but
yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, we're
you're a
not doing
desiccated corpse. You can't really do it very easily.
Like I said, we're making this as normal as
So-
possible in the abnormal circumstances.
Samuel, how many blood points are you giving up for this?
I was okay. I could give.
You can also give some to
Yeah,
Emil.
I mean, we could mix our blood a little bit.
Yeah,
Wanna
yeah,
do
yeah.
that?
How many blood points between you?
What's like a good amount? Like I could give like you want to like both give 3 or something?
Okay.
No.
What's
I don't know what's normal
What's-
to wake a man up.
Well, I'm more worried about them waking up and being blood hungry. We should give them enough to
Oh.
cover that. at
Yeah,
least.
exactly. But like, what's a good amount?
I
3
don't know,
would
is
be
it
a
percent? I
basic.
forget, is it
One,
percentage
if you
based?
consider 1 to wake up and 2 to keep you from being hungry, that would be the normal. Actually, 3 from each of you might not be a bad idea because a little
Yeah.
extra to like recover from mummification.
Potential damage.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
gone for we don't know how long.
She.
Yeah.
She's been gone for yeah, my bad.
That'd
my
give
bad.
her 6
Yeah.
blood, though.
3 from each of us then.
All
Yeah,
right.
6 total.
Okay.
If she wants to kill us, we're already dead.
Mm-hmm.
The
So
moment we wake her up. It doesn't matter how much we give her.
you
Exactly.
get the chalice full of blood, and Leslie, you will pour it into Law's mouth. As soon as you are done pouring the blood, you'll hear this as the body will kind of twitch for a second, and then like it'll kind of like move its arms out, and kind of begin to almost kind of like with this cracking noise, kind of begin to spasm. That kind of pushes you back for a bit. As you can see, then from the bottom of the coffin up, this actual like as things are kind of black and white here, this crimson red blood begins to fill the sarcophagus and not spill out. Like it's rising up as if it would be lying down on its bottom, filling up to the top, but it doesn't spill out the side.
I don't. Shot in the dark. Don't think that's normal.
As soon as it's filled, like everything will be quiet for a few seconds, and then you'll see this one hand come out and put its head, like this beautiful kind of slender hand put there on this kind of side there, decorated with all kinds of like these kind of strange rings and stuff, and another hand on the other side. As this,
Those rings weren't there before, right?
no. As this kind of beautifully dressed woman who's kind of dressed in these kind of strange, like, it looks like almost like ancient, like kind of like a leather kind of armor with this actual like kind of golden shield on her back will kind of step out.
Fight me?
Kind of little like that.
Sorry, the golden shield and the leather armor is just like, wait a minute. I've seen this before.
As she kind of will like let's kind of breathe in, like her fangs are quite well pronounced right now, you know, like kind of like just kind of like opening her mouth and just kind of like doing like a breathing in, like, and then like just breathing out as like there's this like kind of like almost like a dust that kind of comes out from within her. As you can see, like her skin ripples as if it's like, you know, you can see the after effects of like her returning to normal. And in like a strange language, which only Leslie understands, you will hear the words, "Who dares wake me?" And we'll end it there.
God damn it! I'm gonna forget what I wanted to say.
Write down.
Can we end it on me responding instead?
Type it
so I
in the
don't forget?
notes.
Well, do you have what? Is it a very quick response that you have?
Very quick.
And what do you want to say?
Leslie, by way of Zilla.
Okay. And we'll leave it there.
Immediately getting that name out. Hoping it saves my ass. And everybody else's ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If she's buried here, she has to know who Zilla is. The lady said she was Cain's wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming Wait, do I...
She's
do I know
like...
who Cain's...
So this woman is definitely dressed as an ancient warrior, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I know who Cain's wife is, right? I know that was Zilla.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can also notice that like her outfit is more than just like a soldier's outfit. It is regaliant and like very well made, and there's just a beauty about it too. Like there's like parts of it that are like, you know, like the arms, you know, like over top of like, you know, like the leather gauntlets and stuff that protect her arms and stuff. You'll see this kind of like almost like silken like cloth over top of it, so it still has this like almost kind of elegant beauty to it, even though it's a combination of like armor and beauty. It's a very strange mixture in between it.
Well, it was nice knowing all of you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But you've woken up Laws, one of the Aralu.
I have no idea what Arlo is yet!
They're incredibly powerful beings that are known to be sealed within the depths of the shadow of Enoch. That no one was really sure.
Yeah.
No one was really sure what they were, actually.
Does anyone actually know that they were here?
Oh yeah, the al-mahri, they knew that they were here before, like, the Sixth Great Maelstrom destroyed everything.
I mean, like, do we or anyone we've interacted with know who the hell the Aralu are, or that they're buried here?
Lazarus would know. He's connected with the al-mahri, the True Black Hand. The True Black Hand kind of, sort of worship these folks as gods and never try to wake them because it's kind of like, don't disturb something of power that you do not know what it will do. It is that powerful. And they also assumed that they might have been destroyed in the Sixth Great Maelstrom. They didn't know that they survived. Because also, as necromancers, they don't want to get this close to the edge of the abyss.
And on a
It's
scale of
Oh my gosh, we actually picked correctly, I think.
It's
on
like-
a scale of Smiche to Erdar,
Mm-hmm.
how strong is the Aralu?
At very least, Semiche, if not more powerful.
Oh, good.
You have to think about Semiche may have learned how to fight over the years. The Aralu, I'm going to tell you what I'm putting them as, just for context for you. they are antediluvians, but they're specifically antediluvians whose powers and abilities were designed to be elite soldiers, rather than just citizens of the
Alright, well,
place. So
I
Simiche is
already-
very powerful, but Simiche is just a dude in comparison.
Okay, but I already survived meeting Ceviche, so you know what? We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I could take her.
Wi-Fi powers activate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hack her.
Just hack her shield. I don't know.
Hack her relic shield, which is technically a
Wait, no,
mystical
my
artifact.
laptop can summon ghosts now, so...
Technically, it's haunted by ghosts, just like Ryan is haunted. But
I'm just gonna aim my
he
laptop at her.
technically can't be possessed, so he's just getting harassed by them because they want to possess his body and go back to the real world. But
When
they
the
also,
laptop said hello, I was very sad when it was not followed by world.
uh-huh.
That
Though
would've been pretty
Ryan
great.
might technically be possessed in a way because he might still be haunted when he comes back.
Great.
You also might be haunted too. You don't know how many ghosts are hanging around with you. You can't see them.
So that was actually Zilla.
Yes.
Leslie met Zilla.
Mm-hmm. Well, technically, yes
You know,
and no.
I've got a really good track record for meeting very powerful beings and surviving.
The thing about that one is it's technically yes and no because it's like a timey thing, you know? It's sort of like by
She wouldn't have killed you because that might have screwed up time.
Yeah, but still, that was Zilla, the wife of Cain, the father of us all.
and you have to consider that at that time period everything is technically at peace. She would have no reason to kill you anyway.
Yeah, it's just making note that how many very, very powerful beings have I met?
Yo, what if you killed her right then? That would really fuck up time. Like, you're just like, yeah, you know what?
You know, I
Fuck this
really don't think I
beast.
could have. I don't think Leslie, even if he mustered every ounce of strength he had, could have killed Zilla. He
Oh,
would have been
absolutely.
I
utterly
mean,
obliterated.
she's got like a blood pool of like 200 or something.
It would
Yeah,
just be very funny.
I can't it's the blood pool of yes.
Does Zilla even have a school or a discipline, or is she just all disciplines? Because again, she is Zilla, the wife of Cain.
They don't really at that point in time.
Side note: when they got married, would she be Bridezilla?
Technically speaking, what she doesn't know and what none of you know is Cain kind of was a jerk about marrying her. He kind of effectively did a supernatural slip-turn Mickey because he kind of gave her blood, turned her to a vampire secretly. You know, because he was infatuated with her. And then, in order to basically seduce her, some
Did
evil...
he bind her with blood?
Some evil being basically convinced him to perhaps feed his blood a couple of times until cough cough blood bond was formed. Yes, a very powerful evil being probably just, you know, convinced him to do that and
So
started him
she
down a path.
doesn't love him. She is compelled to love him.
I mean, after a few thousand years, you'll learn to love somebody.
And the thing is, it's probably started out that way, but after a few thousand years, and he kind of like waits on her hand and foot, it probably became more of a love, you know? Because honestly, like, it probably didn't start in the best of ways as like an immortal story. It's like a kind of terrible way the story starts, but it kind of like evolved better as time went on. Because like, Cain had terrible ideas and reasons because he's a bad man. Period, he's a bad man, you know? He murdered his brother and was sentenced to being a vampire by powers that be. There's not much, you know, like you can go beyond that. He's supposed to be the biblical Cain.
I do sometimes forget we are literally the bad guys.
Yeah. So,
I often forget we are literally the bad guys.
yeah. Like, granted,
No, I'm a good guy.
like, okay, a fourth generation has a max blood pool of 50. Third generation, they don't stay. Second generation, even more,
Second generation. Yes. Blood.
Yeah. Also, story powers. Basically, again, like, it's the fact that, like, 10 dot disciplines are supposed to be, like, activate story power here. You want something
feel
done? Do it.
I feel like Zilla wouldn't even be like 11. She'd just be. Again, yes. She doesn't have dots. She is just yes.
Well, the thing is, like, what she might have had was, like, it's you think that Cain might have all these powers. He probably didn't have all the powers. Basically, like, his blood as it split, certain things were brought out in people. So he theoretically could recreate any vampire power. But something like Zilla, she might have had a gift, like a supernatural gift, that led her towards prophecy that she could have been an oracle if she was mortal. Her vampire powers combined with the early versions of Aspect made her that she had her prophetic powers to the extreme that it was. So it's sort of like Cain didn't have the same kind of level of prophecy. He didn't probably have any prophecy. He might have had a level of aspects that he could just... He doesn't have to roll. He just looks at something and understands what it is, you know? Again, Cain also has that... one of the only known curses that's around him is, as he stands around with things, plants begin to wilt and die.
Yeah, everything he touches or comes near dies.
Yeah. So that's why he doesn't stay around things very long.
There's a part of me that really wants to meet up with Smiche again and just be like, so I saw you a couple millennia ago.
Mm-hmm. But anyway.
Probably best not to meet up with him again.
Probably best.
Dude, let me stay on
If
this
we
couch.
can
And
avoid
didn't-
it.
I don't know if he somehow gave me a shadow arm. He taught me aspects. He let me sleep on his couch. We're basically best friends.
Yeah, hit him up and say, "Hey, bestie."
Yeah. Hey, Bessie, how's it going? Life treating you well? Anything I can do for you to keep you from murdering me sometime, or trying to do something with me and La Sombra? You know, don't bring back my antediluvian in my body.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he wouldn't technically be against it, but he's also not for it. He's a neutral party when it comes to your antediluvian being resurrected. That's a good thing.
I'll take it. Wait, that implies there's people that do want my antediluvian resurrected.
Yes!
Yeah, I'm one. I want to see what happens.
Fuck you! I like having my body, thank you very much.
I mean, that's the problem with antediluvians. They were such a powerful supernatural force that they tended to be very hard to kill.
Yeah, why don't we bring back your antediluvian, Samuel?
That's the weird thing
I'm
is
sure
that
it's fine.
the
I'm sure
second
it's
generation theoretically didn't have that. Is it because of Cain's curse that the antediluvians were much harder to kill because they were much more likely to suffer because of the curse he gave? Hard to say. You don't know.
Wait, so the second gen were easier to kill than the third gen?
It almost seems that way because you don't hear about any of them surviving death.
Oh yeah, Zilla did literally get assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Could Cain just get assassinated? No, he's cursed to live forever.
Yeah, unfortunately for Cain, there probably are ways to kill him, but they probably involve incredibly powerful supernatural forces that are beyond your ability. Effectively, like, you'd have to basically summon something akin to the actual worm, maybe, at that level, a Celestine. A Celestine might be able to eliminate him permanently. But when a Celestine would enter into the mortal realm where Cain actually is, it would probably, like, unravel the fabric of reality.
So, theoretically, of the people I was in the room with, I would have had a better chance killing Zilla than Smiche.
At that time? Hard to tell. Probably not, actually. Because, again, like,
The curse
Smiche
wasn't there yet.
and the third generations were the ones that took out the second generations. So you have to consider, like, a fourth generation could take out a third generation. They're close enough together, you know? Or
Oh, yeah,
a group of them, you know?
The difference for me would be minuscule, but of the two of them...
You would be most likely able to take out Semiche rather than...
Yo, what the fuck?
Oh, okay.
I just looked up my antediluvian so I could learn about him a little bit more.
Asmillard wants to murder the shit out of you.
Yo, he's such a jerk, and he apparently there are rumors that he's up and awake, and he planned a nuclear attack in 2000.
Oh yeah, no, I'm going by the fact that he is up and awake and doing stuff right now.
Wait, who's your antediluvian?
Asmillard.
He's a bastard.
Not Nosferatu?
Yeah.
No, the effectively who is Nosferatu is a 4th gen that basically rebelled against Asmillard. There's actually a group you met one back in Hawaii that are basically everybody else that are descended from Asmillard that want to murder the crap out of all the ones that are rebels. The Nosferatu are a fringe group, but they have more numbers.
I want to kill Asmillard.
He's kind of a dick.
Yeah,
And Malkov exists within the Madness Network. There's
Tried to
some
nuke us.
bad things going on with Tremere just because he was stupid, along with Giovanni. There's a lot because they also Diablerized Antediluvians, which don't really end up very good because both of them technically still exist in a way. Cappadocius, I think, became a wraith that possessed the body of Giovanni and controlled him until they both are kind of destroyed now, but Cappadocius might still exist in some form. Salute has been secretly controlling Tremere from the inside to cause chaos and destruction because he actually wanted to have his entire clan bloodline destroyed because of some kind of stupidity. Yeah.
What other antediluvians are still wandering around?
Most of them exist in some form. The only ones that are actually I can
Most
confirm
are
you are
torpor,
dead
right?
are Ravnos, who technically went by a different name here, and Ventru are the only ones that I could definitely confirm are gone.
Well, I thought they were pretty much all in torpor.
Some of them are
apparently.
actually dead.
Okay.
But then again, it's also that, is it actually dead? Lasombra, Malkov, Cappadocius, and Salute are dead, but they exist in some kind of spiritual, supernatural form that's different than a physical body. Unfortunately.
And mine just happens to be wandering around Europe, apparently.
Yeah, actually that makes him a little easier to deal with because he's not a supernatural pseudo-force,
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, one of them is a creature made of living shadows that haunts the abyss and is attempting to re-enter the world. Another one's a powerful wraith. One of them is a force of living magic, blood magic. And one of them is the madness inside all Malkavians. I mean, you got kind of a little those are harder to get rid of.
That's fair. This guy, he's apparently one of the more uncompromisingly evil antediluvians.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, Malkov, he's insane. So Malkov is actually a Malkavian. I mean, Malkov lives in the Madness Network. It's all about being crazy and seeing things through the madness.
Okay, wait, what's Ventru's deal?
Ventru got murdered.
Oh.
Ventru was one of the few that would be considered still loyal to Cain in through the Second City. And so that's why, if you consider it, Ventru still have a kind of a curse. But as curses go in comparison to a lot of the other vampires, it's weak.
So why do Ventru and Lasombra not get along?
Lasombra was part of the entire let's murder all the second edition, generation plot kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Also, it's hard to say if they were murdered before the deluge or after it. If they took the Great Flood as an excuse to murder them, or the Great Flood caused them to be in a position that they were murderable. Oh, there's something going on, let's murder them. It's hard to say which is which. Because that's what destroyed the first city. Anyway, we should go now that we've gone that little history
I just
lesson.
realized we're still live.
Yes, yeah. I didn't realize too. Let's give
I didn't
outros.
think we were.
Counterclockwise, Carpe.
I'm the Carpe DM. I'm hoping to play some Magic with Tantus on stream at some point.
Yes.
Because I think that would be awesome.
It would be fun, definitely. Gotta kind of figure out schedules, because I kind of have a weird schedule a lot of times, so yeah.
We need to get Tantus a better camera and camera mount.
I have to get a second camera.
Yeah.
That would be good for being Magic on stream. Second camera. That's what I need to get.
And a mount that can hold it over. And
I need a mount and a boom arm or something. Yeah, definitely. Worm.
I'm Diamond Worm. You can find me on twitch.tv/DiamondWorm or at DiamondWorm on Twitter. That's Worm spelled with a Y, W-Y-R-M. And probably streaming Saturday. Find me there.
Cool.
On my channel.
And Dunce.
Hey, I'm Dunk TV. You can find me at twitch.tv/dunktv or dunktv on Twitter. I've also been posting on YouTube recently.
Ooh.
I show up as Dunk, but you have to search Dunk TV because some other guy comes up if you look up Dunk. It's ridiculous.
More like redunculous.
Yeah, redunculous.
Umber.
Hi, I'm Bubblegum Viking. You can find me at twitch.tv/Bubblegum Viking. I haven't streamed in a while, but probably gonna be streaming sometime soon. Go follow Bubblegum Viking because Bubblegum Viking's pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
As myself, Taints Now,
No,
Dracovin.
I'm Bubblegum Viking.
No, I stream most days here. Like today, I did some more Stardew. I'm heading towards perfection. Should have it soon. That's very awesome. I've been having a really good time with that. I probably will end once I've gotten that, but it's been a very fun thing going through and getting all like the little achievements and stuff. If you're looking for more RPG games, there's on Thursday's the next one. It's Children of Wrath at 8 p.m. EST. And then after that is next Monday, Records of Evil at 1 p.m. Those are both fun. They're both D&D 5e, so they're good games. Check them out. So anyway, thanks for joining us. We definitely went a little over there with a little chatting about like history and stuff, and we'll see all of you in the next one, hopefully next week, and maybe Jess will join us. So bye, farewell, bye.
Bye.